Hey, so yesterday I was scheduled to take the LSAT exam, which is like the law school version of an entrance exam. And so when I scheduled it, I figured schedule it as soon as possible, get it over with, um, and if I take it in November, it'll give me a couple more opportunities to take it. God forbid if I don't do too well, I can also have another shot before, the law school application deadline. So that was my initial thought, right? So I, and then there's like a time frame where you have to um, register before you can take it. It's like a whole month, 2 months in advance, and all these things. Um, and if you want to reschedule, if you cancel it at any point, you only get like a partial refund. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take it in November and then just see what happens. Meanwhile, as I'm studying, I'm like, God, I'm praying to God, like God, I just want to take it once and be done. I want to be one and done. I want to ace it on the first try. I want to be done with the studying and all these things. So after I went ahead and scheduled it, it dawned on me that I didn't ask God when I should take it. I didn't ask him. I just assumed, take it as soon as I can. And mind you, I started studying back in May. And so I thought about it, I was like, oh shoot, I never really did ask God. But I was like, well, it's too late now because the thing was $200 and I'm not trying to lose $200. And so that was that. Fast forward to yesterday. Fast forward to yesterday. I realized that I don't have a watch. You need a watch for the exam to be able to take time because a lot of it's timing. That's a whole other story. But you can't use your phone. You can't use any of those things. And so, and I opted to do the online version of the test, which is different from the normal version, which you go to a place and, they proctor the test. No, I chose to do the online version just because it's available. So I was like, why not? So the day of, or the night before, I do all the things. I run my computer, make sure everything's all where it's supposed to be. I realize that night I don't have a watch. I'm like, crap, I gotta go get a watch. So I Google like where I can get a cheap watch. Kohl's pops up. I'm like, okay, cool. I can get a watch for $15. $15 actually, when you are very limited on funds, is a lot. But I was like, I need it, right? So first thing in the morning, I was like, okay, the exam's not till late at night. Not late at night, but late in the afternoon, like 4:30, 4:40. And so I was just like, okay, cool. In the morning, I'll just go to Kohl's, get a watch, and then just chill until it's time for me to go uh, take the test. I put Kohl's in my GPS. And it just so happens that it's like right across the street from the university where I'm going to go take the test. So I get to where Kohl's is supposed to be, and there's no Kohl's. It looks like a building that could have been a Kohl's, but there was no Kohl's there. So I was just like, that was like red flag number one. Like, that's strange. Okay, well, does that mean I shouldn't get a watch? And I was like, okay, well, I won't get a watch. Fine, I'll just do what I can, right? And so I don't think anything of it. I grab something to eat, I chill out, and then get to the library, and I'm like I'm probably like 30 minutes out from taking the test. Get on an elevator with 3 other people, and after a minute or so, we realize we're not moving. And so, mind you, 20 minutes before my LSAT exam, I'm in an elevator and it's not moving. Um, we start pressing buttons, nothing's happening. So we're stuck. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I can't remember. I think it was 30 minutes before my LSAT. I'm stuck in an elevator. Someone says, oh my gosh, we're stuck. We were probably stuck for maybe like 10, 15 seconds when we realized, like after we realized we've been stuck. Someone's like, oh my God, I'm getting anxious. Oh my gosh. And then the other guy's like, oh my God, I am too. And I'm just like, hey guys, calm down. It'll be okay. Calm down. And so, like, in that moment, I'm like, wow, I'm going to miss this test. Like, something in me is like, I'm not supposed to take this test today. But then I get back to, like, trying to figure out, like, how we're going to get out of here. I just knew, I don't know. I'm just, like, the type of person, like, at this point, I don't get worked up. I'm just like, we're going to find a way out of here. So, sure enough, I don't know if it was me or somebody else. We hit the floor that we were on, and the doors open. So we were stuck for maybe like 2 minutes. And then so we took the floors the rest of the way, and I found my place where I was going to take my exam. And so I was just like, that's strange, but whatever. I'm here now, right? I get my laptop open. There's a place where, you can click to make sure like all your systems are running correctly, which I did. Everything was correct. Everything was good to go. I click start once it was time for me to start the exam, and technical difficulties. I couldn't get, something was processing. I don't know. Some didn't work. So 30 minutes later of just trying to restart and get connected, realized I just was not going to be able to take the test because it was one thing after another. I even moved locations. I moved to another floor, refreshed, tried to get my system work, did the troubleshoot, did all the things, nothing. So I called, and then I tried to reschedule because I read somewhere where if you can reschedule within an hour from the time of your test. I clicked everywhere in that website. There was nowhere for me to reschedule. I called the 1-800 number. They just reverted me back to the website. I mean, it was just like nothing was working. I'm like, okay. And so I wrote a little note like, I need a refund or I need y'all to take care of the next exam. Long story short, I realized in that moment that you can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose when, at least if you're on a journey like me, being obedient and walking by faith, you can't pick and choose when you're going to ask God to do something. You can't pick and choose when you're just going to make your own decision and it be in alignment with Him. I realized that I should have asked Him when He wanted me to take this test, because it wasn't like I grew up wanting to be a lawyer. I've never, the thought was never there, even though my aunts are lawyers. Like, my favorite shows are lawyers. It's crazy how in hindsight it's like, oh, okay. But no, like, I never thought about being a lawyer, but it came back down to God giving you the desires of your heart. My whole situation is a true definition of God will give you the desires of your heart, because I never desired being a lawyer. However, when I found out about my great-great-grandfather's land, I started looking for a lawyer. And then when God revealed to me, hey, you are the lawyer, in the midst of me doing a lot of research on just Black land laws in general, and wanting so passionately to help others who have been in the situation where they weren't left helpless, their land stolen, or discriminately taxed, all those things. It just became a burning passion in me to do something about it. And that's nothing but God, because like I said, I never wanted those things growing up. And so, true definition of God giving you the desires of your heart, because it became a desire. And so, because it's literally God-given desire, God-given purpose, I can't just make up when I'm gonna go take the test. Like, and it didn't dawn on me until yesterday. Like, follow his direction and everything will come to fruition. So it was a blessing in disguise, because I figured this timing is just, of me taking the test, has just been an interesting time with me moving and trying to figure out why I'm here in Charlotte. Everything's been a distraction. So, divine interruption. And I did ask God. I did ask him if I could just take the test once and just ace it the first time and be done with it. And I don't think that would have happened yesterday. So I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, figure out when I'm supposed to take it. For a while, I was wondering why I kept hearing February for a long time, and I didn't know what it meant. Perhaps it's when I'm supposed to be taking a test. But it gives me some more time to study, which is cool. Because I was kind of like rushed and anxious about it. But yeah, you don't get to pick and choose. When you are on this journey, especially when it's God-given, he's giving you assignment and the purpose. And like, I've asked everything else, but the small things, don't forget the small things. I guess I figured it was just so small. I'm like, oh, no. And now I can't help but wonder, like, all those times I was stressing about this exam, all the times where I'm just like forcingly trying to study, and I could have been probably doing something else. I don't know. It's neither here nor there. I'm not talking about the past. Just excited that I have a couple more months to prepare. But yeah, man, divine interruption. If it ain't meant to be, God, it won't happen.